Hello, I'm Craig Brailsford, and welcome to another episode of Small Stocks, Big Money. For those of you new to the show, RedChip is an investor relations, media, and research firm focused on emerging growth companies. Our unique platform combines global multimedia with traditional investor relations, reaching investors around the world. Now, today's show features interviews with executives of two public companies. First up is Bioaffinity Technologies, an emerging player in early-stage cancer diagnosis and treatment. Its flagship product, CyPath Lung, improves detection of early-stage lung cancer by analyzing the lung microenvironment. The non-invasive test has shown high sensitivity, specificity, and accuracy. Lung cancer often goes undetected until it reaches late stage, when treatment options are less effective. Early detection increases survival and reduces medical costs. With commercialization underway, including a pilot program in Texas and the United States Department of Defense's purchase of tests for ongoing research, the company is well poised for growth. The lung cancer diagnostics market is projected to reach $4.7 billion by 2030. The company's flow cytometry platform, enhanced by AI-driven automated data analysis, is being developed to aid in non-invasive diagnosis of COPD and asthma, which have a combined global market expected to reach $8.2 billion by 2027. The company holds extensive U.S. and international patents. Insiders show strong support for the company with ownership at 35%. With a highly experienced leadership team, Bioaffinity Technologies is well positioned to drive innovation in early-stage cancer diagnosis and treatment. We'll learn more when we speak with the CEO later in the show. Up next is Biotricity, a pioneering medical technology company delivering a full suite of remote diagnostic and remote patient monitoring hardware solutions, which integrate with powerful and proprietary software solutions to deliver state-of-the-art cardiac care to patients. Leveraging a technology-as-a-service model, its innovative product portfolio, which includes the FDA-cleared BioFlux and Biotricity devices, addresses a total addressable market of $35 billion. Strategic contracts with leading group purchasing organizations and integrated delivery networks position Biotricity for rapid market penetration and growth. We'll learn more when we speak with the CEO later in the show. Now, before we get to the first interview, our quote of the week. It comes from the book, Small Stocks, Big Money. Microcaps are a three-card Monty play. If you don't know how to play, stay away. This quote comes from Greg Sikenzia, founding partner of Sikenzia Ross Friedman French LLP, featured in Chapter 13 of Small Stocks, Big Money, a book of exclusive interviews with some of the biggest players in the microcap space. Get a digital copy on Amazon today for just $18. Now, let's get started with our first interview today with BioV.
Maria, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
It's good to have you back here in sunny Orlando in our studio. I want to talk first today about your CyPath lung test. You've had extraordinary growth in sales on that. It is a game-changing technology, early detection test for lung cancer. Tell us about how you developed it and talk about your sales growth.
So we have had significant sales growth, particularly in the first part of this year, largely because of a number of things. One is that we have a CPT code. We have a reimbursement code that became effective January 1st. So we see reimbursement both with Medicare and private payers for the test. The second is we've had with several new members of our sales team who have experience. One comes from Olympus, another comes from Pulmonx, number of very significant companies in the diagnostic and in the pulmonary space. Ours is a test for the early detection of lung cancer, as you said. It's a non-invasive test, and that's important. People collect their sample. They collect a sputum sample that comes from the lungs at home. And with the help of a patient coach, they have someone who can walk them through how to do so. This is for individuals primarily who are at high risk for lung cancer, so most often smokers or former smokers. After 3 days of collection at home, They will put the sample back into the kit and mail it overnight using FedEx, a pre-addressed and prepaid.
Very simple,
envelope.
very easy.
It is. It's very much a test that has the patient in mind. Once the sample gets to the laboratory, and our laboratory is Precision Pathology, it's a subsidiary of Bioaffinity Technologies, the sample itself is processed and then run through what's called a flow cytometer. Ours is not a molecular test. Ours is not a test that looks at DNA mutations. It is not blood. We use sputum. What we look at is the microenvironment in the lung. In other words, we look at cell populations. And through using AI, machine learning, we have a automated analysis. We're able to determine if there is a presence of different cell populations that indicate there's a malignancy present. And within 2 days, a physician then gets a report back, and that report tells you whether or not you are at low risk or high risk for lung cancer.
Talk to us about flow cytometry and how it applies to your technology.
The flow cytometry is a very well-established instrument that's used primarily in blood cancers. So people who are suspected to have leukemias, for example, will give blood, and then the blood is analyzed, and the lab tech or the physician looks at, the pathologist will look at whether or not there are certain cell populations that indicate the presence of malignancy. Our test works similar to that. We've taken flow cytometry, and we've been able then to look at cell populations that indicate the presence of a malignancy for lung cancer. And we don't use blood, as is used in leukemias. We use sputum. We take the sputum, we disassociate it, meaning we take the gunk out, and we make it similar to blood into a single cell suspension.
The lungs are bathed with sputum. So.
Exactly. It's a very, very good sample. And the idea is that if there is a tumor or malignancy present, that sheds, this cancer does shed. And we look at then whether there's a population, for example, that's there that has been marked by a certain porphyrin. Porphyrins are taken up by cancer and cancer-related cells at far greater amounts, and they fluoresce. So one of our indices.
What is a porphyrin?
A porphyrin is like the heme in hemoglobin. It's a molecule that can be both synthetic or it can be organic, like the heme. This specific porphyrin is a synthetic porphyrin. Early work was done at Los Alamos National Lab on this porphyrin that found that it was particularly good in marking cancer and cancer-related cells in sputum, and thus the development of the test.
Understood. How accurate is the test?
So we completed a test validation trial, a clinical trial, and in it we found that for people who have small nodules, and this is important and we'll talk about it in a minute why, but for people with small nodules less than 20 millimeters, we had 92% sensitivity, meaning we could tell indeed true positives, people had cancer, and 87% specificity, meaning we could tell with 87%, near 90% accuracy, whether someone didn't have cancer.
And you have CLIA approval now, the Certified Lab Improvement Amendment. That allows you to, for physicians to recommend tests, correct?
Yes. So there is many laboratory tests are CLIA certified. They're called laboratory developed tests. They require that the test be offered only by the laboratory that has developed it. In our case, it's our own laboratory, Precision Pathology Laboratory Services, that developed the test, and they offer it to physicians. We received a CPT code, a reimbursement code, specific to this laboratory developed test. It became effective on January 1, and sales have been very, very good.
So in the first 4 months of this year, you had 547% annualized growth on this test, so congratulations. How do you continue to grow your share of the market on this?
So we have taken the approach that we will start in our own backyard. So we're a Texas-based company. And so our beta testing has been in Texas. And that's where we see significant growth. But interestingly, we find quite a number of physicians are referring, and also it's word of mouth. And so we've had physicians from New Jersey, from Pennsylvania, from California, and from other states who have asked and are now receiving, North Carolina, and using the test. So our approach is to continue to focus on Texas. It's a large state, to grow our sales force and our marketing efforts, to look at word of mouth, and then to develop this test with a very strong marketing program nationally once we're ready.
Tell our viewers, how big can you grow sales for the product over the next 3 to 5 years?
So we're looking at certainly growing in the United States. And we're starting, as I had said, in Texas. We see growth organically in other states. And then we also have strong protection in patent protection and IP in Europe and Asia and other countries. So we're looking at really the sky's the limit for us as we develop this test. I want to point out, unfortunately, lung cancer is the leading cancer killer. It kills more people than the top next 3 cancers combined. So there's a great need for what we're doing.
There is indeed. Let's sum it up today, Maria. What's the value proposition for investors today?
So we have, with Bioaffinity Technologies, a groundbreaking test for the detection of lung cancer, America's and world's leading cancer killer. We have reimbursement as of January 1st. We have a growing sales and marketing team, as well as growing sales and marketing for the test. Moving forward, we'll be going not only into the nation, but into other parts of the world with this test. So we're very, very pleased with the prospects and encouraged by the market that we see for CyPath Lung.
You're doing a great job, Maria. Keep it up. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
Now, to get more information on Bioaffinity Technologies, visit biafinfo.com. You'll see research reports, fact sheets, presentations, and the latest videos. It's all free, and you can even subscribe to email alerts to stay on top of the latest news. You can also call 1-800-RedChip to speak to a specialist if you have any questions. We also have a free weekly newsletter you can subscribe to at redchip.com, featuring emerging growth companies just like Bioaffinity Technologies. Now, let's move on to our next interview today with Biotricity Incorporated. Hello, today with us we have Dr. Waqas Al-Siddiq, founder and CEO of Biotricity, trading on the NASDAQ under the ticker BTCY. Waqas, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Great to be here.
Biotricity recently launched a direct-to-consumer heart health platform. Can you elaborate on the features of this platform and how it aims to impact patient care? Additionally, could you provide an overview of your other product offerings and their roles in enhancing healthcare outcomes?
Absolutely. So our mission is really to democratize cardiac care and really provide accessibility to the masses and everybody. And I'm not sure if you're aware, but cardiac issues are the #1 killer in every country in the world, and especially here in the United States. It's also the #1 expense. And we just don't have enough cardiologists. And if you're a patient or an individual who's worried or have had a loved one with cardiac risk or have a family history, you may want to get a cardiac screening. And today that will take you over 20 days to get an appointment and over 50 days to figure out, do you have a cardiac risk factor? And so our direct-to-consumer approach is to basically cut that time away and give you access immediately at the push of a button, and it'll be delivered to your home, and you can wear the device and get a full cardiac workup in less time than it will take you to just get an appointment.
Biotricity has provided end-of-year guidance with expectations of accelerated growth, Waqas. What are the key factors driving that optimism, and what should investors be looking out for?
Yeah, I think that the combination of a few things are happening at the company, which we think is very exciting. So, a lot of companies struggle to get to a certain stage, right? They always say that, hey, the $10 million mark is an important mark. And I think it's an important mark from an awareness perspective. And we are now at a point where the company is at a size and our technologies across enough physicians, we have about 2,500 physicians who are familiar with our technology and using it, that awareness is essentially driving knowledge and accessibility, and it's allowing us to grow sales faster. And then on top of that, we've been having a lot of workflow and operational improvements through our recent technology updates and our continuous improvement on the technology side.
Your preferred shareholders have shown increased support by converting their preferred shares to common shares. What does this signify for Biotricity's financial health and shareholder confidence?
I think that anytime the shareholders come in and decide to take a bigger stake in the company is a sign of confidence in the underlying business. And I think that, a lot of businesses, right, top line growth is one thing, margin improvement is another thing, operational efficiency is another thing. To have all three going on simultaneously, I think is reflective of the strength of the company. And I think that is also reflected with shareholders going in and saying, hey, let us take a bigger position on the common side. So, that simplification of the cap structure is a testament to the progress that the company has made.
Well, Waqas, earlier you talked about your goal of democratizing cardiac care. In that vein, you recently announced the upcoming launch of the first real-time cardiac monitoring system for general consumer use. What makes this product unique, and how do you foresee it transforming cardiac care?
Yeah, I think that one of the things that we've really done is really focus on accessibility. I was talking about it earlier about, why have we gone and provided access? There's a lot of individuals that are now getting home-based lab diagnostics, home-based tests. Access to a cardiologist if you're living in a rural area is basically non-existent, right? You have to drive an hour just to go in and see a general practitioner or a general physician. And so being able to provide that and being able to ship across the entire country, one, it's the way things are transitioning today as it is, but B, for us, we're making that accessible for the number one issue that's plaguing the country, right? In terms of risk factors, cardiac is the number one expense and cost. So catching it earlier, trying to identify issues earlier and providing accessibility allows us to really make a dent and make sure that everybody has access to the best care no matter where they are within the country.
Well, Waqas, your path towards break-even has accelerated according to recent reports. What strategic initiatives have been implemented to achieve this milestone faster than anticipated?
Yeah, I think that a lot of companies are, that are going to profitability or break even are experiencing, one or two trending things, right? Which is top line growth or margin improvement or operational efficiency. In our case, the state of the business today is all three of them are happening simultaneously, which is essentially accelerating that path, right? We are not only increasing revenue, our margins are also improving. And then on top of that, we're also having operational efficiency. So from a company perspective, we've been working a lot on workflow automation. We've been early adopters of AI technology to help streamline processes and fulfillment and some of the operational aspects of our business. And then we've also looked at implementing AI for workflow efficiency purposes. So we're using multiple types of AI within our ecosystem to help drive scale. And at the same time, our technology improvements are driving better margins. And then our sales force is driving better growth in terms of customer acquisition.
Well, Waqas, you recently partnered with a major hospital network for a cardiac monitoring pilot. What are the expected outcomes of this partnership, and how does it fit into Biotricity's broader market strategy?
Yeah, the pilot for us is a key component of our strategy as we roll out into the hospital system market. Up until now, we've been focusing on a combination of independent and larger hospital groups. But now with the recent addition of getting onto contract with GPOs, our focus has expanded in the hospital outreach. And a big part of that is to do pilots, show outcomes, and do more longitudinal studies and track that data, because hospitals are not looking at something within a 1-month window. They're looking at a multi-year or multi-month, and they're trying to look at what is the impact on a long-term basis. And so as we do pilots, the idea is to do pilots and case studies so that we can use that as part of our commercialization and using that as a data point that can help drive better sales and longer sales within the hospital systems.
Well, cost, to sum up, what is the essential value proposition behind Biotricity, and why should investors take an interest right now?
I think that as a company, we've been showing a track record year over year of growth, and I think that there are many companies that get stuck as they grow. And the value proposition for Biotricity is we are building one of the largest cardiac clouds. We have shown growth. We have top-line revenue growing. We have margins that are improving. And we've hit that inflection point, or we think we've hit that inflection point, because most companies cannot get above $10 million in revenue. And once you hit that, you start driving real awareness within the industry. And I think for investors, they see a growing company, a company in an industry that is a multi-billion-dollar marketplace, but is also recession resilient, is also trying to tackle the #1 health issue. And you know what they say, health and food are those recession resilient industries, and a company that has a clear pathway to cash flow positive and break even. And I think that is an opportunity for investors.
We certainly agree, Waqas. You have a great story. Thank you for sharing it with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Now, to get more information on Biotricity, visit BTCYinfo.com. You'll see research reports, fact sheets, presentations, and the latest videos. It's all free, and you can even subscribe to email alerts to stay on top of the latest news. You can also call 1-800-RedChip to speak to a specialist if you have any questions. We also have a free weekly newsletter you can subscribe to at redchip.com, featuring emerging growth companies just like Biotricity. Also, go to our website and sign up on our events page for the webinar series. We have webinars every week, several a week, in which we feature small public companies, mostly client companies, and you'll hear straight from the CEO, and you'll be able to ask questions after that. Again, visit redchip.com and subscribe today. In addition to our newsletter, you can order Small Stocks, Big Money. This is a book written by RedChip CEO featuring interviews with some of the biggest players in the microcap space. Get a digital copy on Amazon for $18. Now, let's recap the companies featured today. First, you met Bioaffinity Technologies, stock symbol BIAF on the NASDAQ. Bioaffinity Technologies is an emerging player in early-stage cancer diagnosis and treatment. Its flagship product, CyPath Lung, improves detection of early-stage lung cancer by analyzing the lung's microenvironment. The non-invasive test has shown high sensitivity, specificity, and accuracy. Lung cancer often goes undetected until it reaches late stage when treatment options are less effective. Early detection increases survival and reduces medical costs. With commercialization underway, including a pilot program in Texas and the United States Department of Defense's purchase of tests for ongoing research, the company is well poised for growth. The lung cancer diagnostics market is projected to reach $4.7 billion by 2030. The company's flow cytometry platform, enhanced by AI-driven automated data analysis, is being developed to aid in non-invasive diagnosis of COPD and asthma, which have a combined global market expected to reach $8.2 billion by 2027. The company holds extensive U.S. and international patents. Insiders show strong support for the company, with ownership at 35%. With a highly experienced leadership team, Bioaffinity Technologies is well positioned to drive innovation in early-stage cancer diagnosis and treatment. Learn more at biafinfo.com. Then you met Biotricity Incorporated, stock symbol BTCY on the NASDAQ. Biotricity is a pioneering medical technology company delivering a full suite of remote diagnostic and remote patient monitoring hardware solutions, which integrate with powerful and proprietary software solutions to deliver state-of-the-art cardiac care to patients. Leveraging a technology-as-a-service model, its innovative product portfolio which includes its FDA-cleared BioFlux and Biotrace devices, addresses a total addressable market of $35 billion. Strategic contracts with leading group purchasing organizations and integrated delivery networks position Biotricity for rapid market penetration and growth. Learn more at www.btcyinfo.com. Don't forget to look at our stocks page. It's the biggest small-cap stock portal in the industry. It has every company listed on the NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange with market caps of $2 billion and under, and it's categorized by industries. Be sure to sign up for our weekly newsletter and learn about a lot of small-cap companies. Also, go to our website and sign up on our events page for the webinar series. We have webinars every week, several a week, in which we feature small public companies, mostly client companies, and you'll hear straight from the CEO, and you'll be able to ask questions after that. And again, if you have any questions about any of our public companies featured on today's show, call us at 1-800-RedChip or email us at info@redchip.com. In closing, remember, while small caps can provide significant gains, you must be prepared for the downside. Small cap stocks are among the most volatile of asset classes. Some of the companies featured on this show are RedChip client companies, and we may own stock in these companies. So please always read our disclosures at redchip.com. Thanks for being with us today. We'll see you next week with some new, exciting emerging growth companies.